Hello, Riot fans, which is another way of saying, hi, Mom.
Moms, my mom listens to.
Hi, Moms.
And everybody else, enjoy the podcast today. You ready?
Yeah, so the things that you can look forward to, there's some smartwatch discussions in this podcast. There's also an interview with Shane from Tigerwine.
Yeah, we have a New Music Friday with their band today, so you hear some of that just in and out with our, topics of conversation.
We also talk about wearing, well, let's just say a way to lose some weight. Social distancing. We talk about a podcast listener who very much wanted to be in the show today. And we're
Olivia, you made it.
Very proud of her accomplishments, so good job, and that's in here. We talk Eminem. We got a text message that I'm not really happy about that I'll just go ahead and share with you right now. Someone said, I think you need a cookie fix. You're finding your cookie story much too funny.
Well, you'll hear about the cookie stuff later in this. It starts off with our cake conversation.
It does.
And ends up with cookies.
It's funny. Maybe not to you guys, but to us. Who are you to judge?
We just needed it.
All right, I do need a cookie. Transformers, reopening the gym, things like that. So, hey, seriously, have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Get some extra sleep.
Relax. Don't let things stress you out. Just,
whatever.
Do whatever and have a great weekend with it. You can text us if you want to say hey, or if you see a story you want us to talk about on Monday. Text 877 to RadioU and just send us a link and let us know you're a podcast listener and your name.
All right. Well, you guys have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
The Riot. They're kind of a big deal.
Hey, can we do that again? Maybe a little more energy?
No. RadioU.
Nikki, okay. You know how people always start out that thing where like, blah, 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 asking for a friend?
Sure. Is this for you or for a friend?
I really am asking for a friend. This really isn't for me. Someone asked me yesterday, and I didn't have time to research it, about an Apple Watch. You've got your Apple Watch on, right?
I do. I have my Apple Watch.
Now, which series do you have?
I think it's the 3rd series.
So it's not a 4th series?
No, it's not the newest one.
It's trash.
I know, right? Just
it's
throw
trash
it away.
And you're trash.
I cannot
until
believe
you get
it.
a Series 4.
I shouldn't even be talking to you.
Why
am I even here?
Why would I even ask you this question as if you know?
I'm sorry.
So
it's expensive to upgrade.
I can't keep doing that. I got the new AirPods and I don't know.
They only have so many upgrades to it. I just didn't think it was worth it.
Okay. So with the Apple Watch, can you...
Mm-hmm.
put music directly on the watch?
Yes, you can.
So that if I wanted to go running...
You would not need to have your phone with you.
Okay. All right, that's all I needed to know.
There you go.
I had somebody ask me that, and I was just like... I
don't know.
I don't have one. And furthermore, I cannot be trusted with a smartwatch, okay?
And stop asking me.
It's too much for me.
No, you can put it on there, or you can, stream it if you bring your phone with you, but you do not need to bring your phone.
Yeah, okay. I thought that was true, but I wasn't sure. I've got a friend of mine that wants a watch to go like running, a GPS watch, and I've looked at Garmin has a series of MP3 player watches that are, they seem nice. They're about the same price as an Apple Watch. And I'm just looking at it going, the Garmin, they say, will last a couple of days, whereas everybody complains about the Apple Watch because it's like you get one day and that's it.
Well, it depends on, if you're running and you're using it, then...
Okay,
I'm not using it as hard, apparently, because I could get 1 or 2 days out of it.
If you're using it...
then, of course, it will need it.
It's going to need some extra... you wouldn't dare... use it.
Especially if you're going on a really long run. That will drain the battery.
I don't really know the answer as far as like how far they'll run or how long, but they asked that question and I had looked at some of the Garmin stuff, but I was just like, man, I don't know.
Well, there's your answer.
I know I look like tech support, but I only play a doctor on TV.
It's on the radio. It's like, I don't even know.
I don't know.
So, okay. Well, hopefully that helps the person.
All right. Thanks, Nikki.
You're welcome.
This has been Apple Tech Time with Nikki.
Need a jingle or something?
Next time, tune in as Nikki talks to us about why we're going to need the iPhone SE, even if we already have the 11 Plus.
I just need a second one.
Well,
it's fine.
Like when we were in the car the other day, Nikki, a phone for each hand.
That would have been good.
What's worse than the worst of the Riot? The Worst of the Riot podcast. Yeah. You did this to yourself. Podcast. Riot. RadioU.
Nikki, I think we should take time to say hello to Olivia.
Yeah, good morning, Olivia.
Olivia messaged us through Facebook. Now, she's a podcast listener, and she says the following. Hi, I'm a podcast listener.
Yay. And that's exactly what we ask podcast listeners to do.
But there's more, okay? From Huntsville, Alabama, and I'd love to be shouted out on the podcast. I've been doing a challenge where you run 100 miles in the month of April.
Wow.
And on all my long runs, I listen to the podcast. It makes me laugh and keeps me going. I finished my challenge today doing an 8-mile run and went through 2 podcasts. It was great.
Why doesn't our own podcast, if that was true, wouldn't we motivate ourselves? Don't you think?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't think it works that way.
We hear that quite frequently. We are motivating to seize the day.
Nikki, what happens?
Those that help seize this don't seize it themselves.
What happens is that we pass our energy on to them.
Oh, you're right. So we don't have enough for ourselves?
That's exactly what it is. So like we are, in helping Olivia reach her goals, we have given up the ability to reach our own.
I see. That does make sense.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing, though. Congratulations.
It makes me feel a lot better, and I get some satisfaction out of her hard work.
So it's kind of like we're teammates, and we've all done it together.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, I probably did most of that.
Don't.
I mean, if you really think about it.
Don't take away her amazing achievement. Do not do that. We will not grab onto that. We are actually not a part of that.
A Rotten Tomatoes score so high, they refuse to make it public. The Riot on RadioU.
Now, running. Some people have started doing it, cycling, because you can't go to the gym. Mm-hmm. And running is, for the most part, free.
You can go outside and still exercise.
Yeah, you
Physically
can.
distance yourself, but you can definitely go outside, and it's been encouraged.
Well, France, they've got new physically distancing guidelines for running. How far apart do you think that they want you as a runner
to
be from other people?
Maybe 5 or 10 feet.
Sorry, Nikki.
Is that not it?
Shut up. Okay.
He said, "Shut up to me."
Okay. So 10 feet higher.
It's higher than 10.
Yep.
15 then.
Higher.
20.
Higher.
50.
Well, wait. Sorry. Lower.
30. 30 feet from each other
They're
when you're running?
About 33 feet.
Wow. What does that even look like? That's more than the room, isn't it?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
way
It's more than this room for sure.
I mean, is it in areas where there's not a lot of people, or?
No, they say that the big concern that they have in France is they were like, yeah, you guys can run outside. But then they're like, oh, my gosh, you guys are all running next to each other. Stop it.
I guess I don't understand how that's possible.
Well, I couldn't tell you how it's possible either, but I can tell you this for sure. You got to do it.
What's going to happen if you don't?
I think the police just shoot you.
No, that's not it. And that's not funny.
Oh, you're right. It's not. I don't know what'll happen to you. Maybe somebody gets you.
You get a fine?
Maybe.
Something like that.
I don't know.
Well, I guess they're just trying to be safe, but that is a long distance away.
33, that's crazy.
That's a long way.
That is crazy. The other thing that's difficult about that is that most running, I mean, not all, but a lot of places where you run, there's an expectation of people being able to run both directions.
Sure.
So, like, you would run past each other. So even me, like, running on a couple of the trails around here that I have been running on, it's not so much that I'm running in a pack or that I'm running right behind people, but at some point you end up either passing somebody or, going the other direction. They pass you, and you're probably what? I mean, I've been trying to go to the other side of the trail and get 6 feet away from them.
It's hard to do that, but I'm not sure in France if it's different. But here, they already made us a path a long time ago where you're supposed to stick to. So I don't know, how their running looks there, if they have, running paths or whatever. But that's, again, a long distance.
No idea.
33 feet you have to stay away if you're going to be running.
33 feet.
They basically are just trying to make it to where you don't go outside to run.
They're like, look, you eat the French bread and the French fry and stay inside. What do you want to run for anyway?
Exactly. After saying that.
We've we've got an archive of everything stupid the Riot has ever said at your fingertips. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
It's all very exciting, Nikki, but all of it pales in comparison to the countdown that I'm looking at right now at StephenieMeyer.com.
Oh, I saw this. What is it?
It's the Twilight lady.
The lady who wrote Twilight.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a new movie or a book, or what is she doing?
I don't know. It's just a countdown.
Oh, people are wondering.
We're going to find out on Monday.
Oh, we have to wait all weekend?
All weekend.
What am I supposed to do? You can't just, put that down once you know it.
I'm dying inside, but I've never been more alive than I am right now.
Does she have other books besides the Twilight ones?
She did write another book.
She did?
I don't know what it was.
Okay. Well, now you might get something else.
And then I don't know.
It's a reboot.
And do people even, you think it is?
If it wasn't on hers, I could see a movie studio doing that, but I don't see the countdown for that being on her website.
They definitely.
So probably a new book.
Well, she wrote something called Twilight Reimagined. Got me. She wrote something called The Chemist and The Host, which they also made a movie out of. I've seen that movie cover before.
Oh, they
it's
have?
in the discount bin.
Is it?
It goes on sale a lot.
Well, I guess we'll remind everybody on Monday, or we'll conveniently forget about it.
You know what? I don't know that we will.
You don't want to?
I think that this may be as far as we go with it.
Sometimes it was more just about the mystery of the countdown.
Yeah.
Not about what actually will be announced.
Do you think people still care?
About her for Twilight stuff?
How about
or
just Twilight?
As an author?
Do you, at a certain age, do you pass through a Twilight phase, or is it just gone?
I don't know. It's not like it's kicked back, because a lot of times things come back again.
Around, yeah.
Yeah, and they become popular again. I don't think I've seen that, so I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe she thinks. How long's it been? 15 years?
Hey, she's made enough money from that. She doesn't even need to think. She doesn't care.
Yeah. Oh, but you know what, though? You get bored.
You do.
You get bored.
But it doesn't really matter as much. You're not
No.
doing it with the hopes of, please, can I eat? I just want to make enough money to live. She's fine.
She's good. Jerome says, what about zombies that sparkle? I feel like they did that. What was that zombie movie where it was he has a heart and he loves me?
Warm Hearts? Or Warm something? Warm Bodies.
Well, you just rattled that right off.
I've seen it. It was great.
Was it really?
It has the one guy in it.
Him.
Nicholas
Sparks?
Holt. No. Holt. That guy, I think.
Okay.
It's a great movie. Makes you really think about things, Obi.
Does it?
Yes, it does.
Did it really? You really reevaluated some things? You make some changes?
I'm sure I did. I'm sure I did back then. But it was pretty good.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? That's an idea. Sparkly zombies.
All right, we'll see what happens on Monday.
Is there another monster that we have with sparkly sea creatures?
What's the one? Pride and Prejudice and Zombies is the book.
Sense and Sensibility and sea creatures.
Monsters.
Sea monsters.
That's one too.
Yeah. Well, all right. I'm just going to go back to this coffee.
You don't want to stare and watch the minutes pass away. And
watch your life slowly disappear along with this countdown.
So you're hypnotized. I bet you if you watch it enough, it hypnotizes you into buying whatever it is.
Or maybe it hypnotizes you and you get the message.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on Radio U.
We got to put on our best foot forward. And, during quarantine, during these trying times, you've had occasion to eat yourself a Swiss cake roll.
Oh, did you?
No. Oh. But what do I had some tiger cakes.
You mean zebra cakes?
Zebra cakes.
Yeah, zebra cakes.
Yeah, they're all stripes.
Well, it's a zebra.
Do tigers have stripes or they have...
Tigers have stripes.
Okay, good. I can't keep it straight.
I'd rather not keep going with this conversation so it don't come off as really stupid.
I don't know if it's early or late, but I'm tired.
It's Friday. It's fine.
Whatever. So there's the study that was done. Which university? You know what? Who cares? Here's what they did. They took a group of obese people. That's me. With a BMI of 30 to 35. Me.
Okay.
People like me. And they had them wear weighted vests.
Sure.
That weighed about 24 pounds. And here's what they found is they had them do that for 21 days. And the people that did that lost 5 pounds.
Were they wearing it all the time, or were they just doing it when they were working out? 8 hours a day.
So you just wear this thing around for 8 hours a day. And here's what they said about it. it basically tricks your body into thinking that it has gained a bunch of weight, and it will start trying to lose that weight.
Lose the weight. Oh, wow.
So
that's fascinating.
Without any effort on your part.
Except for wearing.
Aside from wearing 25
pounds on your body, which is a lot. You would notice that 8 hours a day.
Well, hey, let me tell you what. I'm laying under a weighted blanket every night, and it is no joke.
So you would feel it. I mean, maybe eventually you'd get used to it, but you'd feel it at first.
My thought was like, oh, is it because you're burning all those calories? Nope. It is literally just...
Your body just thinks it's gained weight.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's cool.
So there's I've lost the term for it, but there's something inside your body that keeps track of, they say, your actual weight. And they say
is that the ice cream section in our body, or?
Well, it's funny you say that, Nikki, because my thought was like, oh, so what you're saying is I could probably put this on and just keep eating.
Can't we just gain 25 real pounds?
No, well, yes,
your body will know then that it's overweight.
You can. So here's what they're saying, that you wear this thing. Did I say how much weight they lost?
No, it did not.
On average, they lost 5 pounds in 3 weeks.
Woo.
And that was it.
That works? They didn't have to work out or anything?
No.
It was a weight loss miracle?
It's a weight loss miracle.
Oh, my gosh. That's amazing.
Think about this. During quarantine, you're just laying around anyway.
You can keep eating.
Just put that thing on there.
They do say that, what do they call it, the quarantine? Is it 15 or 25?
I think it's the 40, isn't it?
The quarantine 40?
I
don't know.
You know what? It might have been quarantine 55.
55. That's a lot of extra weight.
I heard quarantine 70, but I'm not here to say.
No, because it's the freshman 15, and I think for the quarantine, they were saying 25 pounds.
Freshman 15, sophomore 40.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then stop asking for every year after.
Shut your mouth, Junior. Shut up.
What about it? I'm working on it.
Stretch your pants, Junior.
Leave me alone.
What?
That comes later. That's after your sophomore year.
By the time you're a senior, it's the Wally seniors.
Because you just
the
sit in the
floating chair with the iPad and
That's
the big gulp.
That's it.
Gosh, that sounds like a good time.
That's why it happens.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
It is The Riot on RadioU.
I think one of my new favorite bands, at least of the year, has to be Tigerwine for sure.
Well, Shane from Tigerwine is joining us this morning. Hello, sir.
Howdy, hey.
Hey, how are you doing this morning?
Doing fantastic. It is 7:30 in the morning. I'm usually a clock in the morning kind of wake-upper, so we're trucking along.
Well, happy new release day. So today for RadioU, it is Tigerwine New Music Friday. So you have a chance to win a download of the album today. So be listening all day for the chance to win.
So Shane, talk to us. Where does Tigerwine hail from? Where do you guys live?
So we're in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Nice.
Kind of like right at the foothills of Pikes Peak, pretty much. So okay, I can literally out my bedroom window can see Pikes Peak. So
awesome. So
yeah. So
wait, is Garden of the Gods is in Colorado Springs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been there.
Obi got lost there once.
Yeah, I did.
That's the only reason why he remembers it.
It's really, really easy to get lost in it. There's a whole bunch of trails all over, fun stuff. So it's really, really sick.
Yeah. So Shane, we don't know Tiger Drive. We've never met you.
Tigerwine. We also play a band called Tiger Drive.
We also play a band called Tiger Drive.
He's having a hard time with that.
So we never met you guys before, so we don't really know your story. Give us some background. How does a band show up in Colorado Springs? Where'd you guys come from?
So this is actually kind of a split thing where originally the band was only 3-piece. They used to be in another band, and that band kind of fizzled out-ish, and then they just kind of started something different. And they wrote the Lull EP and a couple other things before that. And I'm actually originally from Pennsylvania, Western Pennsylvania, and I was filling in for other bands, and I met them on tour while filling in for other bands, and just kind of stayed in super, super close communication with them, became really, really good friends with them. And then they inevitably asked me to join their band, and
There
Here
you
we
go.
are.
Aw.
Awesome.
So did you move to Colorado to join the rest of the guys, or are you guys scattered in different places?
No, I literally live with our guitarist.
Oh.
Yeah, so we I was in Pennsylvania, actually got married, and then my wife and I moved out. Literally, we got married, and then a month later moved to Colorado Springs.
Wow. So you and your wife live with the guitarist. Doesn't that mean that in reality, he lives with you?
It's technically he's also married.
Oh, okay.
We're a 100% married band. Yeah, literally everyone in the band's married. So we live. Him and his wife have a house, and we live in it with them. So
okay,
Gotcha.
All right. I was gonna say,
I think I may run with the thing where Steve lives with me as a power move, but we won't tell him. But I live with him.
Okay, gotcha.
All right.
Everybody's just in the house, all right? There's no no power move or anything. Everybody's just there. Makes it better for the band. Everybody's close by.
So, Shane, I'm not really supposed to ask this, but I'm going to ask it anyway because I really feel like I need to know.
Well, I don't know if he knows as much if he was joining in then.
He might not, but here's the deal. I've had a few bands that have come through here that have the word Tiger in their name. And as much as bands hate to hear it, I got to know, where does Tigerwine come from? It's one word. It's not two words. What is that?
That got picked because literally it sounded cool.
Okay, good enough for me.
That's a good answer.
It was off of a Reddit stream, but Tigerwine does have a thing. There's a thing to it. It was, which obviously we don't condone it at all, but it was I think it was in Asia. I can't remember which exact but it was in that continent. Essentially, it's kind of messed up, but it was poachers were killing tigers and then using their bodily fluids to make wine.
Okay, all right.
And then the government was just don't do that. That's really, really bad. You can do that, but they have to die of natural causes. But so then they would trap tigers and then they would starve to death because it's natural.
Yeah, okay, sure.
So obviously we don't condone any of that. The word just sounded cool.
It just worked at that moment.
Listen, Nikki and I see lots of things that we think are funny on Reddit, and we don't condone any of it either.
It just works. It just works.
I totally get that.
Well, this is Shane with Tigerwine. It's a New Music Friday today, so when you hear Shane say, hey, text the word Tiger, that's how you have a chance to win a download of the new album, Nothing Is For You, and that is all day today.
Yes, indeed. So with that happening, release day, how are you guys going to celebrate? You got any plans?
I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I mean, probably especially, we aren't playing a show or anything because everything's on pause at the moment. But
Sure.
But no, honestly, we'll probably just soak it in. I'd imagine we'll kind of be a little bit more present on social media types of things. But yeah, nothing wildly human. Just kind of just kind of enjoying the release day and kind of getting to celebrate it and all that fun stuff.
Man, so just hang out with the fans today online would be probably the best thing.
Yeah. Yep.
And the only thing.
When I asked the question, it's I forgot
I know
for a minute.
everybody has to stay at home still.
Quarantine, stay at home.
That's all right.
You're not going out to do anything.
Everybody can go out and celebrate later when it's allowed.
We may walk around the house to celebrate the release of the album.
That's about it.
All right. Okay. Yep. All right. So cool. Well, Shane, it has been super great to talk to you, man. And we just wish Tigerwine the best. Nikki said that this was she said to me, where around, that Tigerwine is one of her favorite new bands. She loves the music.
New song.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
Now, Nikki, I was thinking that I would really like to have some cereal.
Oh, I got you covered for this weekend.
What do you
make on Saturdays?
Well, I often speak of pancakes.
Well, what do you want to do that's a little different but on trend? You make pancake cereal.
Pancake cereal. Wait, is the maple syrup the milk?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So it's not.
Oh my gosh.
It's not hard to do. When I first looked at the trend, I thought, well, this is it. You basically just make your pancakes as tiny little quarter size.
Those are the little crusties that sometimes happen when you dribble.
So make a ton of those. fill a bowl with it, put butter on it and maple syrup like milk, and then post a pic on it.
Oh, my gosh.
And that's pancake cereal. It's so cute. It is adorable.
That right there, that's some diabetes.
No.
Are you kidding?
I'm sure it's fine.
Maple syrup in the place of milk?
Well, yeah, but you're not filling it up over it. You don't put that much syrup on it. You just want it to look on the top. You don't fill it up completely.
Oh, it sounds good, doesn't it?
So just little tiny pancake. I mean, gosh, how do you make making pancakes last longer? You do this. It's going to take forever.
I have an electric griddle.
Yeah, you just
at
use that.
home. Use that thing, and I imagine just tiny little drippings all over.
The video I was watching, you take a little squeezy bottle and then squeeze out the little small tiny pancakes.
Yeah.
We're talking like cinnamon toast, or not cinnamon toast, but like Cookie Crisp, like that sort of little quarter size.
Yep.
And then make a bowl full.
Sounds wonderful.
It does. It looks like a lot of effort, though, for just pancakes. You know, you could just eat normal sized pancakes, but it's worth it for the picture.
I feel. And there it is.
Yeah. Oh, this is all that. Oh, yeah.
It's all it is, really.
Absolutely. Don't forget the hashtags. You know, just do it right.
You know, maybe that could be our after show next week.
You want to make pancake cereal?
We'll just make pancake cereal.
We've come
up with a lot of ideas, none of which we'll probably do.
Oh, no. We had time. We can do something next week.
Have you been writing them down? Because I haven't.
It's in my head.
I'm sure it is.
I'm not forgetting this. These are so cute. I'm not forgetting this. It's an option.
All right. Well, I've got a griddle I could bring in.
Remember we talked about for our Riot After show, we could build that model box thing that you have that you've never done.
Oh, yeah, because I was going to do that. And what were you going to do?
Well, I was just going to help support you while you build that.
Oh, that's not a good idea.
Why?
No,
we could do it together.
Not a good idea.
And then we can make pancake cereal.
Pancake cereal seems like an idea. You were going to do an adult coloring book, right?
Oh, no, I wanted to do the, I don't know what it's called, but it's the one where you take little tiny stones on the picture and you place it.
Yeah, and then you bake it?
No, you don't bake it.
You just make it.
It's a picture. It's like paint by numbers, but instead you use little stones.
Man, think about going back to different times in human history, and you're just like, yes, I have so much free time. I'm so bored that I'm placing little stones on this. What do you guys do for fun? And
I bet they totally did that back in the day on like a tapestry.
Grok stay up all night protecting family from saber-toothed tiger. Fun.
Well, I'm sure he was making pancake cereal for the pic.
I'm sure he was.
All right, so that's, if someone wants to do that this weekend, that's the new food trend.
Okay. Pancake cereal. It looks good to me.
It looks cute.
I think I'd like it more if someone made it for me, but it looks good.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Okay, I am right now helping a friend pick out a smartwatch, and I was not prepared for this question. So I am not a smartwatch guy. As I've been looking at them, I've thought, it'd be kind of cool to have a smartwatch, but I can't have that.
I think you would get into it more and like it more since you have an iPhone now.
Here's the reason why. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a smartwatch. Like, I think if you want one, it's great. I am genuinely concerned about the fact, I don't think this is true with everybody, but notifications sometimes really irritate me. And I feel like I would go crazy.
Yeah, but you can customize it to only allow through the ones that will slightly annoy you.
Right.
Not all the way annoy you.
I just don't think it's a good idea. I don't have ADD or ADHD or whatever the words are. But I don't think it's a good idea.
There's something about it.
I don't think that it would go well with me.
If not, you just try one for a few days.
What, and then just take it back if I don't like it?
Or just borrow one or something, or just what it feels like to have it on.
Could I borrow your Apple Watch?
You could absolutely borrow my Apple Watch.
Dang it, that's not what I thought you'd say.
I think if you worked out to where you could really use it, it's just another level.
I could see that. I could see where if I turned it into like my smart fitness watch, I would get really into it. So I don't know, maybe.
So what are they looking at still? Is it between that and a Garmin?
Well, it's this. They have an Android phone, and they were thinking about getting
fixable. Just teasing.
They were thinking about getting an iPhone SE, but then it was like, well, maybe I'll just stick with this phone. They have a Samsung Galaxy S8, and they could get the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active. Boy, it's a lot of words.
Well, they got to get all the stuff in there.
But a lot of people have been saying that this Galaxy Watch is, like the new one especially, is really good. And so I'm just abusing my power, and I'm just going to throw it out there. If anybody has a Galaxy Watch Active 2 smartwatch,
What do we think?
what do you think of it?
Was it good?
Is it bad?
Have you taken it back?
Is it stupid? You hate it?
Text all that to us.
Just let me know.
Unload. Let out those feelings. If you love it, you can also share that.
Yeah, Aaron says, do the Garmin if it's for fitness. Yeah, but Aaron, are you just saying that because Garmin is a fitness brand? Or do you have personal experience with the Garmin
seems
product?
super good if you're really into fitness, but I don't think any of us are into fitness quite that way.
The only person I can think of that is the guy that runs the RadioU 5K, and I mean administrates it.
He could totally have one.
He seems like he needs a Garmin watch.
We want one for athletic. I want athleisure. But in watch form.
Shut up. That's perfect.
I want to look like I'm active, but I'm not. It's really just for my Instagram notifications.
Oh, athleisure. That's exactly what it is.
That's what we want.
Hey, Nikki.
High five from over here.
Yeah.
Physical
come on.
distance. Woo!
Love it. Okay. All right. Well, just help me out if anybody has played around with one of these things. And do you want the 40 millimeter or the 44? I saw a picture of it on somebody's arm. The 44 looks like you're walking around with a bathroom shave mirror. It's just like, what the heck? That thing is huge.
We really know how to promote items, don't we?
Am I wrong?
The company's like, will you just stop trying to talk about our thing?
Could you do us a favor?
Just don't bring us
do
up.
Do us a favor. Could you just not bring it up? Just not at all.
Okay,
just don't
you.
talk about our product at all.
That's
ever.
the good part about being commercial free. We can say what we want to say about anything.
Oh my gosh.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously, this is The Riot on Radio U.
You want to give some free stuff away. You want to help some people. You set up a charity auction, Nikki.
Yeah.
Question is, what do you have that's worth enough money to put at auction for a charity?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if we all have stuff.
Didn't you have some piece of art one time that you were like, oh, I think I could auction that off?
Yeah, I still do. So
there you go. There's your charity auction.
I could do that.
That's nice. Let's do that.
Well, is it a charity auction or is it just an auction?
Well, I mean, like, Nikki,
can I be the charity?
You're like, if you
for that,
like for me, if you raise that and you're like, this is to help someone that's been impacted by life.
You do not need part of the auction.
This has been people that have been impacted by a lack of sleep.
Now that's something.
Okay.
That actually makes sense.
How about that?
That does work.
Okay. Eminem, Marshall Mathers III.
Yeah.
He teamed up with Nike back in 2015 to make a very unique Jordan 4 retro Eminem Carhartt shoe.
Okay.
Back then, they made 10 of them.
Oh, wow, that really is rare.
And apparently, there have been, every once in a while, a pair seems to sneak out, or he might give a pair to a friend or family member.
Out.
Mm-hmm. And they have not had a pair of these sell for less than $20,000 online.
So has another one popped up?
He has donated a pair for an auction that is going to go something for coronavirus relief. I don't have the details on the charity, but StockX is going to be auctioning off
a pair of these shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So they think over 20,000 then? Maybe.
Oh, that seems to be a foregone conclusion that it's going to be over 20,000. Like, where does it go from here?
Sky's the limit.
Okay, it's going to go to. Looks like it's raising money. Some of it's going to go to the Detroit Medical Center.
Great.
So, yeah, that is very cool. It's always wild to me, like somebody like Eminem who, this is going to be a big cultural thing. Let's just stop.
You sure?
I think it's great that
he's doing that. Okay, good. He's giving from his own stock.
That's right. So, and you know what? I'm going to get out some of my custom Nikes, and there'll be an auction later.
I know that you want to, but I don't know if we need to because...
Since he's doing it?
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to flood the market with all these really important shoes, so maybe you just wait until later.
That's a good call, Nikki.
So we'll just see how his auction does before we go and put anything up on ours.
Thanks for getting out in front of that.
You're welcome. I just
really appreciate you.
Don't want to I want us all to shine and get as much out of it for charity as possible.
It's a good call. Don't want to take anything away from what he's doing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Proper planning prevents poor performance. Clearly, the Riot didn't properly plan. This is the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
How many times have you said to yourself, what this country needs, what we in the United States need today is a new Transformers movie, guys?
Oh, are we back to that?
There's been a Transformers movie in theaters for at least 18 months, and something's got to change.
Wasn't the last one the Bumblebee one?
Yeah, that was a pretty good one, actually. Haley Steinfeld.
With John Cena? Gotta yell his name.
He's the worst part of that movie.
Did he not enhance the movie, or he was just an add-in?
I think I may have said this before, but I'll just tell you. I could show you the Bumblebee movie.
Yeah.
And I could edit John Cena out of it. And you'd go, I thought John Cena was in this.
Did it feel like they needed to add a man to it? That's what they did? A studio thing?
It literally felt like we have this whole movie and this whole thing, and they were like, ain't nobody gonna watch no movie about no girl? Where's the man?
Add him in. The Rock wasn't available, so put him in.
Totally.
Yeah.
He's the worst part of that movie. He makes no impact on the plot at all.
But I don't know the universe and the timetable, and it wasn't like, oh, so he can be in other Transformers movies. It wasn't like sneaking him in here to get him in the franchise.
I really don't know.
Okay.
I just know that I actually thought Haley Steinfeld carried that movie just fine on her little lonesome. See what I did there?
Her little lonesome?
Her little lonesome. She needed a big man, Nikki.
I hate that stuff. And I know most of you guys don't mean or do any of that, but some studio stuff is, and it's annoying.
Oh my gosh. All right, well, here's what they're saying. They're going to make a Transformers movie that would be a prequel, which I guess they mean to the other movies, but it'll be directed by the guy that directed Toy Story 4, and it will be animated.
Wait, was Toy Story 4 the most recent one?
Yes.
There was some flaws in that, so I'm not as excited with you telling me about that. So I hope he ruins it at the end. So makes you spend the whole movie and then just tries to wrap it up in the last 10 minutes, ruining the whole thing and the entire set of movies beforehand. But bonus points for adding the only man I think you could add would be Keanu Reeves. So that's okay. What?
How'd you feel about Toy Story 4? What'd you think of it?
What?
How was it?
I liked Keanu Reeves in it, but that was about it.
What about the Toy Story 4 aesthetic in a Transformers setting?
Maybe
it would work.
Would it be animated for theaters or animated for, like, on demand?
I'm pretty sure that they're looking for an animated for theaters kind of thing. I mean, I don't know that.
We'll see. I think we'll get a lot of animated stuff coming out of this.
But don't they have to go and work just like everybody else?
Yeah, but for animation stuff, I think you can.
Maybe it's easier for them to work. I will say, every time I've seen pictures of an animated studio, they are sitting pretty far apart because they have to have huge desks to draw on.
Yeah, because you just don't know otherwise when you can go get assemble a crew together and actually make a movie again.
Though this would be computer animated, I'm sure. You know what? I really don't know. But I do know that it's a possibility. They're working on it. They're saying that it's a probability and that one day when movie theaters open again,
you can possibly see this movie, the new Transformers movie that's going to be animated.
It could happen. We don't know.
I love when we have such, strong details.
It's huge.
I can practically plan the weekend when that comes out.
It's huge for me too, guys.
The Riot is well-versed on many different topics.
They're shy at first, but they're quite skilled at conversation.
This is The Riot on Radio U.
All right, Nikki, I have a random tweet here from Elizabeth. She says the following. I bought a Costco sheet cake.
Hey!
Because I figured we could use some cheer around here.
Nice.
Toddler freaked out, demanding to know whose birthday it was. This is the important part.
Uh-huh.
I explained you can just buy a cake when you want if you're a grown-up.
Yeah, that's right. You absolutely can. And don't you feel, though, like you shouldn't still?
What?
Like whatever when we were younger was so ingrained in you that you should not just be having cake.
Oh, yeah. No, totally.
If you did go and just get a cake for no reason, you would still feel a little bit of guilt.
Oh, just thinking about it. One time.
Makes you anxious.
There was a time a couple of years ago that I was like, I knew my weekend was just kind of wide open. Nothing was going on. And I was driving home and I was shopping. I had to pick up a couple things at a grocery store. And I was like, I'm just going to get a cake. And I actually went over to the bakery and they had cakes out. And I picked up a cake. And I walked around with it for a while and I was just like, what are you doing? Like, you right now, like, you are on the side of a cliff. Like, if you take this leap, if you jump, you're going to be in a hole so deep you can never get out because you're going to suddenly make cake an anytime food.
Anytime you want.
And you can't do that.
Well, the good thing about Costco is, I mean, they're portion size, like they're big pieces, but there's so many of them. But at least if you just
everything you just said is not good for.
If you went piece by piece, and you can always freeze the rest, break one out when you want one.
No.
Is it a cake day today? Yes, it is.
I love this. Elizabeth said after a long back and forth with him, eventually I had to agree it was my birthday.
Oh, just to say that.
Because the kid was just like,
he's just not getting it.
No, there can't be cake unless it's a birthday.
Oh, well, you know what? Whatever you want to do. And we keep saying that, but this is the time you can say that.
We have said a lot. Doesn't a sheet cake sound good?
Can you still get sheet cakes? Is that a thing that's been taken away? Are we not allowed to, or can we?
I'll tell you this, the thing that kills me, Nikki and I go to Giant Eagle for sheet cake. It's our favorite place. It's a grocery store.
I have a buttercream icing. Do you remember our RIOT anniversary? That was the last time we had cake. Before all this?
They used to, you're right. That was before we knew.
Before we knew I was coming.
That's when we were like, I don't know. I heard there's something happening in China, but what do I know?
I only had like 1 or 2 pieces. We should have had more. We should have gotten a bigger cake.
Right. Okay. So I stopped over at Giant Eagle, and in their bakery, they used to have that you could buy a cookie that had buttercream icing on it.
It was the cookie witch sort of thing.
Yep. And you're like, oh, you mean with her magical powers? No, WICH. And so,
HICH, isn't it?
Cookie witch. Went to see the cookie witch. No, it's not that.
I mean, it does. I bet you that'd be an amazing name for a cookie place.
She competes with the Keebler elves. It's all magic. Ancient elven secrets.
That's awful.
Oh my god,
just awful. It's the little.
It was two cookies together
with icing smashed together. That's it. But they're usually called cookie witches, aren't they? No, not like a witch.
I know.
But it does sound like that.
Every time you say it, that's what I hear.
We're not saying it anymore.
Nikki, stop promoting cookie witches on the show.
I have to have a meeting.
Okay. So, where were we?
They don't sell them.
They don't make them anymore.
They don't make them anymore because they had 1,000 calories per thing.
That's not why.
Well, why do you think
they just said they weren't doing it anymore?
It's because they had to start putting their calories on the sign with the money.
I reject this. You know what I would do? I would eat it and just be like, oh, well.
Oh, well, what? I just gained, that's just 1,000 calories right there.
Well.
Oh, well.
I can live with that. It's like, only 1,000 calories? I'll take 2.
In fact, one we got, they came with little plastic rings in them, too. So you're like, I get jewelry, too. It's a great thing.
There's no end to how exciting this is.
So what have we learned from this?
Nothing.
We've just shared a lot about our cookie stuff.
Here's what we've learned. I go back to Elizabeth on Twitter. She says, you can just buy a cake when you want if you're a grown-up.
That's all we're taking into the weekend.
That's the wisdom we all need for today. Thank you, Elizabeth.
You're listening to the worst of the riot. Radio U.
Who else is just dying to get back in an Arkansas gym?
Into a gym in Arkansas?
Yeah. Those are the best kind, Nikki.
Well, I bet people are.
Best kind.
In the area.
Well, they are. I say all this, of course, Because on Monday, Arkansas is opening the gyms.
Oh, they are.
Sweet relief.
That seems to be the two things. The gyms and
the hair salon.
And the hair salons are the two things that people ask, maybe even more than the restaurant, like going into the restaurant. But I think that's because you can still go get food. You just can't go in.
You're starting to realize, like, I didn't need somebody to bring it to me.
I didn't need to go in anyways.
Just give it to me. I'll take it.
Even though we would like the chance to do that.
Well, yeah. Listen, anything you tell me I can't do, it's immediately a priority.
So what are they saying in Arkansas? How will that look?
Well, I'll tell you, it's going to look ridiculous. Here's what you can do. At an Arkansas gym, you got to get your temperature took.
When you go in, that's going to be the norm, guys.
Yeah.
That's just going to be, and that's how it is in other places in the world. That's been the normal. So this will be the normal.
Wait. When you mean during COVID or pre-COVID?
Yeah, before COVID even hit here.
They would take your temperature?
Not all places, but while it was in its beginning stages.
Okay.
And during other pandemics or other viruses, yeah, it'd be common to go into a restaurant, they take your temperature first.
That's okay. Like, some people really freak out about that. I was telling somebody about that yesterday, and they're like, Pete, what's going on with that? And I'm like, yeah, I take my temperature every morning when I get to the radio station. And they're like, I can't believe that. What? What are you talking about?
Out of all that you could have to do, that's not the worst.
Okay, so basically, if your temperature's up, you're out.
You're not able to come in.
Showers are closed. Saunas are closed. Pools are closed. Spas are closed. So basically, anything involving water is pretty much a done deal. You have to stay 12 feet apart from people at the gym, which I don't even know how you're going to do that.
How does that work with a gym?
Like, how are you going to do that? I don't know. And this is the part that I'm just like, just forget it. If you're not actively exercising, so like if you're not in the middle of a set, you have to wear a mask.
So you just pull it up and down.
I guess. But the thing is,
this seems like it's not worth it yet. Like, if you can work out at home, it still seems more like you're going to get a better workout than just the I want to go back to the gym mentality a lot of people have.
I mean, I guess I can see. I don't know. Like, because the thing is, like, once, all right, my set's done. No, I'm not actively working out, but yes, I'm breathing heavy because workout.
Oh, sure. Then you just put the mask back on.
So you got to put the mask back on. You're like, I don't know.
So this is Arkansas. So if you're
it's Arkansas.
This is not how it's going to be, but probably looks like how you might look forward to it becoming when your gyms open up too.
Well, and I guess at the end of it, you just have to ask yourself if it's worth it to you. Like, if you want to go to the gym,
do you have to work out there so bad?
Are you willing to do that? And you know what? I'm sure there are people that absolutely do feel that way and will do that. So more power to you. I just feel like I'm not ready to do that yet. I mean, my body desperately needs it.
I don't know. It's been more than 30 days. Mine's fine. Mine says, what gym? Did we ever go to a gym?
Still here.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
Well, I think that it's ridiculous that Donald Trump hasn't cut his hair yet.